Did you like that little surprise? I took you out a different door today. I'm doing a nice and quick farm tour today, just a really quick one to catch you up on everything that's happening, because I'm in the process of filming a few different videos, but none of the projects are finished. You'll see what I mean. But you know what I want to do first? I want to show you the most amazing thing. I feel like this is one of the most amazing things I've ever done. And it's a flower meadow, and it's just mind-boggling. Like, it makes you want to cry. Let me show you. Through the rose arbor, which one day I will fix up and make even better. But look at this. Oh my goodness. Can you see this? Oh, it just goes on for ages too. It is just the most beautiful little spot, and it's filled with bees and butterflies and little bugs and ladybugs. It's absolutely magical. We did some family photos out here the other day. I'll pop that up. I'll pop some footage up for you. Let you just enjoy that for a little second while I move on to the next area. So for those new here, I'm Phaedra and I'm obsessed with gardening, but I have spent the past probably 7 months doing some very major landscaping jobs, because I won a competition with John Deere and they dropped me off a tractor and a ZTrak mower, and so I've had that equipment. I've been making videos for them, getting a whole heap of projects done on the farm, and I am going to continue on with them for a little bit longer, but I can't say much more about that yet. So some of these projects are big projects that were part of the John Deere project, but obviously we benefit because they're on our property. But it has been, if you've been following along, it has been a journey, like very unexpected. I sometimes think, at the end of your life, you look back and what are the highlights? Obviously it's your family, your kids, maybe your career. Mine's going to be John Deere tractor. Anyway, I'll show you one of these other projects. The chicken coop, which is another video in process but hasn't happened. I think I did show you where I smoothed this back out. The grass has grown back really well. I need to get in here and mow it and just encourage it to spread sideways instead of up. And we have a couple of things left to do to this chicken coop, including getting chickens. We want to fill in around the bottom. We need to put the steps on it. This side piece in here needs to be done so there's no gaps, and we need to fox proof around the bottom of the run. And we also need to put a floor in it and build the nesting boxes. And then of course I've got ideas for climbing roses. So that all has to be done. So we're a little ways off. I need a week or two to get that finished. I'm trying to coax my daughter into doing it for me. But other than that, it's there. It's little bits and pieces left to do. I'll show you the oval now. Sort of, this was an old, very crappy paddock. It used to become a complete bog in the winter because the water didn't drain off it. And then in the summer it was just filled with grasses, which they were really pretty. They were kind of pink grasses, and I used to use it for photo shoots actually, like family photo shoots. So the pink grasses are gone, but I do feel like we've replaced it with something even more beautiful. So let me show you. Unfortunately, the grass that we grew for the final shots for the John Deere video is now dying. It's an annual ryegrass, and we're just in the process of deciding, do we continue to let it completely die off and then get the the kikuyu grass in here, or what do we do? Do we leave it there and just let the kikuyu come up amongst it? Because I actually need to do a little bit more. You can see the soil. The opposite has now happened. I did too good of a drainage job, and now it's a very, very dry paddock. So there's that. Around the edge we've got the ornamental pears, which are really nice. I can't wait. They're going to be amazing, like this towering sort of wall of trees eventually. You can see we've got the irrigation in because we've been watering while we figure out what we're going to do. Hang on a second. That was my kids ringing me from inside the house because they can't walk out to the paddock. Slightly annoying, isn't it? I have started mulching this area. I've got around to the 6th tree. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, sorry, 5th tree. I've got 5 more to mulch around. Problem is, it uses exorbitant amounts of cardboard, and I have to somehow get the cardboard. I did buy a big roll of cardboard to do a little bit of it. It's just going to be too expensive. It's about $50 a roll. So it's just way too expensive to pay, to buy the cardboard. So I'm just waiting on... Are you serious? My kids... Every time I pick up a camera, my phone just goes crazy. It's next level unbelievable. All right, so down the side of the oval around here, this is going to be a project in the future, but I'll tell you about it a little bit anyway. You can kind of see just like a natural sort of curve that will go around. That's going to become a walkway, which I think we'll use the buckshot, which is the same we used on the fire pit area. And then a native garden will sort of bump out on here. We'll utilize these native trees. I think we're going to put some native garden in on the corner here just to merge everything together. So this will all become landscaped, and then there's another little track that goes back behind the sheds there. But this will become the entry to the walking track, and as you can see, it needs a bit of work, which is fine. It's not actually too much work, to be honest. I will probably just leave this here. I might put some grasses in there, some nice grasses, and just let them sort of be there. And then the walking track will come down through here and down past our birch grove. This is a drain, one of the drains I put in at the back, which has worked a little too well, and now everything's really dry. So this is our birch grove, whatever you want to say. I need to get in here and baby them a little bit. They need a little bit more water. I do have a little hack for that, and I'm going to show you, because you've got to really keep this area moist and it's really starting to harden up. So I'm going to show you the hack for that. I've got to get in here, clean around the bases of them. And I've just found Shani's discus. She lost this. She lost this weeks ago. We did lose 3 of these trees. 3. I'm not sure why, but that's fine. We will probably grab a couple more next season. But other than that, they're doing really well. The heat hasn't hit yet, so they're not freaking out just yet. And we've had pretty good rain. But yeah, I just need to get in here. I need to spend a weekend in here fixing this area up, mulching, and the water hack, which I'll show you at the end of this video. I'll just show you the idea, not me doing it, because that's a job for another day. This massive willow tree in here, we plan to clean. I've got to get in here and get rid of this thistle. We cannot, it's already going to seed. We cannot let that spread. This amazing willow, we're going to clean it up in there so James can build a tree house. Won't that be amazing? And then the walking track will continue up around this area. I'd love to turn that into a flower meadow. Project for another time. The track will walk all the way out the back and go around the whole outside sort of edge of the property, around the dam up the back there, back through the house. And it's almost an idea that we had during COVID. We were like, imagine if we had our own walking track. And we've ever since then thought about it, and we're just like, well, we're going to do it now because we've got the tractor and we can do it. Oh, flies are so annoying. It'll just be good too because the girls love to go for walks. Up over here is fire pit area. I'm actually a little bit embarrassed to show you. It looked amazing for the John Deere video. If you haven't seen it, it's over on the John Deere socials. But because we didn't stay on top of it, and it was just so brand new, it's just covered in weeds. It needs a weekend's work on it too now, which is a shame. Also, we've got this tree. I planted that probably about 15 years ago. It was a tiny little tree. It is finally taking off. I had 2 more in there. They haven't survived. But here's our fire pit area. You will just have look at the weeds. They're so bad. It's going to be such a big job to fix that now. Yes, I know. It's terrible. So I need to get in here, clean it all up and put another layer of buckshot down. We need to mulch it, pull all the weeds out, mulch everything around here. Eventually garden's going in, but we didn't want to put the garden in before this summer because we've put a lot of new plants in, especially trees, and I've still got some more trees to go in. I'll show you that pile of trees too. And we just didn't want another area of garden to care for and look after while we're trying to keep everything else nice. But future vision is fire pit area, and then up behind it over here it will be a campground because the kids love to sleep in a tent. They like to have their friends over, so I'm hoping to get a bell tent and set this up as a nice little campground for the kids. Okay, let's look at another very exciting project. And I'm actually making really good progress on it. I've had a few setbacks. I've had a really bad year health-wise. And the most recent setback is I've had a skin cancer cut off my arm, which, if you know me, I am so careful with the sun. I'm always covered in sunscreen. I've always got a hat on, long sleeves, long pants. It's often sun-rated clothing as well. Anyways, it's a genetic, for me it's more of a genetic problem, the skin cancer issue. So I have to get checks every year. Anyway, yep. I've had a big one cut. Not a big one, but it was a big cut. Oh, I might talk about it in another video, why that happened, but it's a bit of a pain in the butt. But anyway, so my arm was out of action it's the top of my arm, so it's not too bad. I had my toe cut open. It was just, every time I got progress on this fencing, this is for around the growing space, every time I got some progress, I had another problem and I was set back. But look where we're at now. Look at this. Poles are in, poles are stained, not all of them. I've got to go up around the back. And we've got some chicken wire. I've been putting these on today. I haven't quite finished. I've got to do the little end bit on there. So I'm just chipping away slowly. I'm pretty sure I'll have a post that goes all the way along the bottom to try to stop rabbits kicking themselves under, and then a post across the top, or a rail, sorry, across the top and bottom, I think, to just completely finish things off. The garden has struggled a little bit. This is a hollyhock, which we would normally have back in September. But our weather's been so chaotic and so cold. They're only just starting to bloom now, which is absolutely insane to me. And I'm trying not to feel discouraged, but I feel like I've had a bad past few years on the farm where it just hasn't looked abundant. And I'm really worried it's going to be like that again, because the veggie patch area coming up to Christmas usually should look very abundant and full and filled with beautiful food and flowers, and it just doesn't look like that. I'll show you how it looks. Look at it. It looks so sparse. It's very disappointing. Things are coming up, but I mean, the dahlias, they're tiny, absolutely tiny. I do have a tray load of mulch there. I'm going to be mulching the pathways, so that'll just help finish this area off a little bit. We do have some beans coming up, but the wallabies, every time they pop up, the wallabies come in and grab them, but not for long. This fencing I should have finished within the next, I want to say within 2 weeks this should be done and looking beautiful. But something that we have had, a lot of success with at the moment is the strawberries. And eventually this will be like a strawberry lane. It'll look so cute. But we've been picking so many strawberries off just these beds and these 2 beds. And I plan to put more beds in. But already we've picked, I think we're up to about 3 kilos. So we're picking like a huge amount every day and just enjoying them. And I've been freezing them and I'd like to do more. That's on the cards. Just want to show you my arbors are looking so cute. So I'll get this fencing up very soon. I can't wait. The flowers are looking very sad. The spring stuff is starting to die off. And I'm just hoping that they'll self-seed, so I'm leaving them. But let me show you the dahlias, because as I just mentioned, the season is so very, very slow. These dahlia tubers are tubers that were already in the ground. So they've had the best head start they could possibly have. It's the biggest that we could get a dahlia plant to be at this point. So this is right at the end of November. We're about to hit, so Monday will be December 1st, and that will be the start of summer for us. And I remember in past years we had flowers. Look at this. These are the dahlias that were already in the ground, and they are so small. We've just had so much cold weather. It's going to rain all weekend again, which is great. We need the rain. But it's just blowing my mind. I mean, I've still got sweet peas going, and we're about to hit summer. It's been cold at night, which in the past I've talked about this. It never used to be like that, but the plants don't like it. They don't like such a massive change in temperature between the day and night temperatures. It really messes with plants. But I was talking to Moroni, and I think what we need to do is in our heads change our seasons around. So change our seasons around, but I need to get as much in autumn as I can, so that I do have a lot of early spring flowers, and then just have some space for the dahlias, the zinnias, cosmos, and maybe a few other little things. But don't focus on the summer flowers too much. Just do the dahlias, zinnias, and a couple of little bits and pieces, because it's becoming extremely difficult to grow the flower. It's completely unpredictable. It's actually a little bit frustrating. The sweet peas kept getting eaten by wallabies, so they haven't really climbed anywhere, but they're pretty. I'll just leave them. Maybe they'll drop their seed. It'll be wonderful if in future years most of this just came up from dropped seed. This is coriander. Just going to let it self-seed. And then we've got our beautiful, look at the pollinators on there. Oh, they're so nice. The beautiful feverfew, matricaria. This is a variety that has been very hard to get in Australia. I'll pop it up on the screen because I always forget the name. So I am going to be taking cuttings probably this week to keep this going, and this is the only one I'm growing, so I'm collecting seed from this one. So I should have some seed for sale. Well, I don't know how soon, but make sure subscribe and follow along so you know when I've got that seed. And also on Instagram, I will post it up on there as well. And on Facebook, we've got Nigella, which just spontaneously came up, and it's so pretty. I'm just going to let it self-seed itself as well. And maybe this will just turn into an eclectic sort of meadow in the future. Got my bells of Ireland that just came up by themselves. No, actually, sorry, I planted these ones out. I've got another lot up the back that came up by themselves. But these ones are fairly past it and are going to drop their seeds. So I will just leave them there. The beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I love it so much. It has had just the most amazing scent. The stock flowers. I haven't looked into this if these varieties will self-seed. I'm just leaving them, we'll see what happens. I mean, I'll look it up at some point. So I'm not sure what to expect with that, but we'll see. And then the delphiniums, and they were absolutely superb. And I'm kind of kicking myself. I didn't take any photos or hardly any footage of them. And there were these amazing big fluffy heads. Oh, I think I was just so kind of caught up in getting other things done that I just missed it. But I am leaving these to go to seed as well. We'll see what happens. Maybe. I mean, the more things I can get to just spontaneously spark up themselves, they'll come up at the exact perfect time that they're ready to pop up. Less work from me. And then maybe plot 2, this plot that I'm in now that's all in rows, maybe I will change the layout of that down the track too, and it'll look a bit different. We'll see. Some more sweet peas and a rose that the wallabies kept eating. We've got the Eryngium, sea holly. Wallabies have been eating the tops out of that. And then I've just got my little bed of chrysanthemums. Sorry, I'm having a blank. Here's Moroni. Hello.
Hello.
I'm showing the people what's been happening.
Okay.
What do you think of my fence?
Yeah, looks good.
Do you love it?
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to need all the strainers and stuff. It's holding fine.
I think it's too high. The rabbit will not.
Oh, but we're putting a board along the bottom.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, I can lower it all.
Okay.
Because it's that easy way of doing things.
Okay.
Do you think I should lower it?
No. You want to put a board?
Or do we just lower it and not put a board there? Would it be cheaper not to put a board along there? Do we want a board or no? It's going to be easier to whippersnip with a board though. I guess what would we prefer? Would we prefer to have the board along the bottom to whippersnip easy and try and keep the grass out? Or do we want the save money and I lower the wire?
Well, we can just leave it for now as it is and see how the rabbits...
The rabbits will get under.
Yeah.
They're buggers. 100% they're coming under.
Yeah, well, there is sections of the fence in the other side where...
They just rip entire holes in it. The board would stop animals being able to do that. It is going to cost us $350 to do the board around the whole thing though.
Okay.
And then another $350 to do it around the top.
Okay.
What do you think of that?
Well,
we give up, don't we?
not that I give up.
This costs so much money, everything we do. Okay, I need to go inside. We've got child drama. This section here is going to be blueberries, and I've kind of roughed it up again. But I roughed it up so much I hit the irrigation, so that's been a bit of a hold up, but I am planning to get in here, pull out as much of the grass as I can and just mulch it for the rest of this season so that the ground is covered and I just need to work on amending the soil to prep it for the blueberries because I won't put them in until autumn. And then at the back of plot 3 we have what's going to be the raspberry patch. So there'll be 4 rows of raspberries in here. The spacing is, I'm trying to remember, it's 1.5 meters and then a 50 centimetre, something like that. Or was it 1 meter? Anyway, look, there's wide pathways because they do get out of control and it gets hard to walk between them. And then the narrow little rows because the raspberries will spread out. So I'm working on amending soil in there because they will go in autumn as well. Corn patch, which I had temporarily covered to keep the wallabies off, and my temporary covers keep falling down. So I need to come out and do this properly because I'm going to be damaging the plants. But a lot of corn in there. It's going to be really good. It's a happy little situation, even it looks dodgy. Bells of Ireland, they've just popped up. This is just an area where they've dropped seed over the years. Potatoes, and then the rest of this plot, the plan is, you can see the hoops, there's going to be 2 tunnels in there, and then this will just be pumpkin patch, which is one of the reasons I desperately need to get this fence up ASAP, because I've got all my pumpkin vines and things to plant and they need to go in. I also need to do a mow. You're seeing this at not the best time, really. It's not the best time to be showing you everything because nothing's been mowed, but I guess this is real life especially when you're scrambling to get things done. And I am scrambling as usual. But what I'm hoping is, you know, this is year 6 of flower farming, which, you know, the past 2 years haven't really been flower farming. This season, I don't know, I feel like I'm dirt farming or rock farming, but I'm just feeling so hopeful and so excited that this is the last year of setting up the farm. It's just taken us so long, and I'm hoping that moving forward from this season, it's in maintenance mode, so to speak. Like, we can just really get into that rhythm of just doing things that are going to be fruitful and productive, rather than constantly having to build things and do structures. We do still have a bit of irrigation work to still do. We kind of feel like it is a big project, but it's not as major as these things like fencing this area and working on getting all the trees in and established. It is a little bit, it's still a big job. I don't know who I'm kidding. We have the plan for it at least. We've just got to get the tank. We actually have most of the irrigation pieces for it as well. So the expense of that isn't even too much. But as you can see, a lot has happened. We've been getting a lot done. A lot has happened. I've been working on so many things, but it's bits of pockets all over the place. So there's just a lot of unfinished things. And the main reason is because a lot of things had to be done to the point where I can finish a video for John Deere, and then I have to come back and finish it later. So that's the process. Oh, we've got a little man. Hello.
Hello.
House yard is looking overgrown, and I just want to show you this big, huge mulberry tree. It was tiny when I first moved here. Moroni's just leaf blowed all the mulberries, but it is so full of fruit, just absolutely laden with fruit. It's mind-bogglingly amazing. However, the mess is next level. Look at the berries. It's actually sending me mental because the kids are walking in it and then walking inside. So everybody's banned from walking under this tree right now. Look at it. Oh, look at the mess it makes on the leaves. Don't plant a mulberry tree too close to your house. Plant it somewhere just over on a lawn area. Really easy to maintain it, and it only fruits every second year. So we're only dealing with this for about 6 months every 2 years. 6 weeks every 2 years. But those 6 weeks are horrendous. That's almost it from me. I'm going to show you this water hack. Oh, please excuse my embarrassingly messy veranda at the moment. I have got projects everywhere. You see these water jugs? What you do is you cut a hole in the top so you can refill them easily, and you just stab a hole in the bottom, and you can put sea salt in them, or you just leave it with water, and it'll just slowly seep into the ground. And it's just an easy way to keep your plants or trees or anything that you're trying to keep through the hot summer moist enough to survive. And then you just refill it every couple of days or whatever you need to do. So that'll do it for today. That's where I'm up to with everything. I think it's probably obvious why the videos are a bit all over the place at the moment, a bit haphazard, because life is a bit all over the place, at the moment. And I'm working on such big things. They're taking a long time to film because they're taking a long time to complete. So make sure you subscribe, follow along if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Bye.